Hey guys, so I have bought me a drill press at a garage sale, and you know me, I'm really cheap, so what did I do? I bought a $5 drill press that needs a motor, so let's see if we can fix it.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight.
So, I started the motor and started taking a few things apart. I took the motor out of this thing, and well, when I first started it, it ran up, but it ran really slow and had no power. You could hold it with your fingers and, lightly with your fingers and stop it from spinning. So I'm assuming that it's probably a capacitor. So I bought me one of those and I'm going to replace the capacitor, and then we'll see if we can get this thing to work. Okay, the capacitor is back in place now. So now we reinstall the motor back onto the drill press. So we'll go put that back on and see if she'll work. Alright, the first part is to put these two 13mm nut or bolts back in. And then I think the next part is to put the top back on, that part. So let's put that back on. And there's these little rubber washers that go between that top and this, and then it holds down with these little screws here. And there were missing 2, so I got these screws to go where the other ones were missing. Alright, let's see how that works. Okay, the next thing I need to do, well, I got those screws back in first, I suppose, so show you where those go. They'll kind of go in the middle of that tray. Now the next thing I gotta do is fish this wire through, up through this hole, and then down through that hole. Then I have to fish the power cord the same way, up and down through those 2 holes. Okay, the next item is to tie these 2 white wires together. So I'll crimp them and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, now that I have these 2 tied together, I fish the 2 or all the wires through this cover. And then I gotta put these 2 behind a ground bolt, which there are 3 of them here. 1, 2, and 3. And I believe the 2 green ones go behind this one, because if you look at the inside of this thing, the plastic has the other 2. And that's using this bolt, and that bolt. And I think that one is the one for the green wires. Okay, now that we have the cover back on and the grounds grounded, now we need to put the switch back on. This is simple. It's just on-off switch with 2 connectors which hook to the 2 black wires, and then these 2 tiny little screws that go into the plastic. Okay, the switch is in place. Well, before we get too far, let's do fire in the hole and see if this motor actually spins up and works. because the first time I used it, that motor just barely spun. Let's see what it does now. Oh, it's going fast now. All right. I think it's working. I think this will work now, so I think I got that motor fixed. Okay, the next item is to route the wires and tie them down so that they don't get pulled or tied up in the pulleys. So the next problem I ran into with this thing is that previous owner rounded out that set screw. I don't know if you can see it, but I had to buy a new one. That's a little 6mm set screw. I just took it to Ranch and Home and found one there. So I'm going to replace that set screw with the new one, and then we'll start putting these pulleys back on. I believe this one is the front one. Nope, it's got to be the back one. Look at the size of the hole. And that means the front one has a bigger shaft, and it goes over here. So next, let's hook this back up. Alright, when putting these things back on, the thing you need to pay attention to is this flat spot here. That's where the set screw goes. So there's a flat spot on the motor, and there's a flat spot on the shaft. So we'll just put those back in there and then tighten down the set screws. Okay, then we just tap this down till the belt is level. So that way it should be able to go around each of these without falling off. We'll do some testing later. Okay, now I have it set down at the slowest speed, and to snug this thing up, you'll loosen this wing nut here, and then you can pull the motor in, and you can loosen up these belts, and you always work on this side, I think. Well, you always go from bigger to smaller, so I had to work it down this side before I could work it down that side. And I suppose going up, I have to do it the opposite way. I'll have to work it up this side to go up that side. But then you snug this down. So this is the slowest speed. Fire in the hole. Look at that. Drill press is working. Okay, now this should be the highest speed. Oh yeah, it's going way faster. There you have it, guys. I got me a drill press for $5 plus, what did I spend? I spent 59 cents on that little set screw. I spent next to nothing on these two screws, nothing on the washers. I had those. And $12.99, I believe, for the capacitor. So there you have it, guys. $5. Maybe we should try to drill something, huh? Okay, guys. 5/16 drill bit. A really old 2x2. And set on the highest speed, right? Yep. Let's give her a shot and see what she does. There you go, guys. Drilled straight through. Nice and clean. All right, this old drill press works good again. Talk to you guys later.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more